We're going to make some shrimp Newburg. And it's not the traditional way, but when we get finished with this dish, you will say it's probably the best one you ever had. Why? Because nobody does this. We're taking the skin, the peelings, and we're going to simmer the peelings to get shrimp stock instead of throwing them in the garbage. I do this on a lot of shrimp dishes I make. People don't realize how much flavor it is in the skins. Okay, so we're going to put all the skins in there. Then we're going to put the tomato. The tomato is going to be for color and just a little bit of taste. It works out well. And since we don't want to put water, because this can simmer very slowly, we're putting the heavy cream that we're using right in there. And a little white wine, not much. And I'm going to simmer that. Now I know the amount of time that that's going to be cooking, it's going to be reducing. So I'm going to add to that right now 1/3 cup of milk, because that's what I think I'm going to lose as it reduces. I don't have to put more cream in there because it'll be just as creamy later as it should be. And we're going to strain this through a chinois. Once it starts to simmer, I'll give it like 15 minutes, very low flame. And that should bring out all of the flavor from the shells and the tomatoes. So now that it's just about boiling, I'll put it on my back burner, which is very small, and we'll time that. Now we'll go about cleaning the shrimps. So you know that when you clean the shrimp, especially these are nice. So there were 10 of these to just cut them down the back. If they're clean, they're clean. Cut them a little bit more, because when they cook, they will curl up so nicely like this. So what do we do with the shrimps next? Well, put a little sea salt, a little pepper, mix them up, and you won't need to make a roux. That's that flour and butter thing to thickening sauces. You won't have to do that with this recipe. So the only difficult part of this one is just making this creamy fish shrimp stock. So what are we going to do? We're going to flour every shrimp like so, getting it in there, outside, and this is your roux. This will be the thickening agent when we saute this in the butter. So you do that to all the shrimps, and by that time maybe that'll be done. I'll give you a little hint when you're buying shrimps. If you notice these shrimps, there's no liquid in there. They're nice and dry. Always go to the fish market and buy the shrimps with the shell on. Don't buy those packages in the freezer. You may think it's cheap, but what happens is, after you defrost the shrimps, you see all the water that comes off, and those shrimps are usually waterlogged, especially the ones that are already peeled. Those are the worst to buy. And if you should be so lucky as to find a fish man that has shrimps that are packaged in Campeche, Mexico, those are the best. So you're paying for the water that's in those bags of shrimp, where I am paying for the shrimp. And the shell, you want to say the shell weighs something, so you're wasting money there? Insignificant compared to what the amount of water that comes out of those bags. You can squeeze those shrimps and water comes out of them. Okay, the shrimps are ready. We'll wait just a few more minutes for the boiling of the cream. I would love to put mushrooms in this, but that's not Newburg. So we're keeping with what we're supposed to do. While that's still cooking, we can start the shrimps. So we'll put a nice amount of butter in there. Hate to do this, but that's life. Anytime you have cream, you must have butter. Now we'll place those beautiful shrimps right in there. Look how nice and dry those shrimps are. Now I'm going to put the paprika right in here also. And when the cream sauce hits it, it'll turn that beautiful pinkish color that Newburg is so famous for. And after the shrimps are cooked, ready to serve, we'll splash in there a little bit of some dry sherry, and that's it. Have to be careful not to have this too hot where the butter is going to burn. So to avoid that, no, I'm not going to do it. You can usually add a drop of olive oil to it, so we'll just take it easy here. Who's in a rush? You want to have this come out nice. We'll cook it a little bit on this side, turn them over a little bit more, then we'll strain the sauce, the cream stock right into this. Just giving the flour a chance to play with the butter to be the thickening agent. See how nice they curl up when you cut deep into the shrimp? Just the way the Chinese do it when you get that shrimp chow mein. Except their shrimps aren't as large. Now we'll take my chinois. And we'll strain this right over the shrimps. These only take a few minutes. I think I forgot something. Guess what it was? The paprika. So we'll get it in there right now. This is maybe a tablespoon. If you notice, the sauce will be thickening all by itself. And the paprika did its job. And then what you don't want to do is overcook the shrimps. So, how do you know? Cook them 10, 15, 20 times, and then you'll get a feel, just like when you're making yourself a hamburger, you kind of know when it's ready. It just takes practice. Look how that sauce thickened up so nicely. Cut it down. You need pretty. And the sauce is the right amount. Well, maybe it's a drop too much, but you know what? Usually when you eat dinner, you have an item like this, they never give you enough sauce. And the flavor is in the sauce. Just a drop more salt. And now I'll get the sherry. My wife's lucky, she'll be home in about 15 minutes, so I'll have some of these on a plate for her. She loves when I make these videos. That's good enough. Shut it off. When you make this dish, when you're in a restaurant making it, as soon as you put that sherry in there, it's a wonderful thing. So now we'll put a little on a plate to see how the sauce clings. And what would you serve this with? Usually rice. Or I was going to make, but I didn't have a chance, the puff pastry boat that this would go into. That's a nice way to serve it also. So, see the sauce? Nice. Coats the spoon the way it should. It's not overly thick and it's not runny. So there you have it. A little chopped parsley on top, but you don't trust me, right? You don't think the shrimps are cooked. Okay, let me take one that's not so hot. Perfect. Enjoy.